everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef. Welcome to the Deluxe Grill and Griddle class. Tonight I'm going to teach you how to use our Deluxe Grill and Griddle to the fullest. I'm going to show you how to make chicken, how to cook steak using our probe setting. I'm also going to show you how you can make a complete breakfast on the griddle on both sides in a flat position. And I'm also going to show you how to make a big giant panini sandwich that you can cut up and serve a crowd. So before I start heating up this grill, I am going to go over a few basic things so that you understand how our grill works. I have this grill preheating already, so I'm going to be using 2 grills tonight, and hopefully I can keep up with these recipes, and hopefully everything will flow smoothly. If you have any questions along the way, please feel free to leave those in the comment section and I'll answer those after the video. Please also let me know if you're joining live, where you're watching from, and if you're catching the replay. So I'm going to cover a lot tonight in a really short period of time, and I know I talk really fast, so don't feel like you can't ask me questions during the video or contact me afterwards. If you're interested in purchasing the Deluxe Grill and Griddle, I am a consultant with the Pampered Chef, and I would love the opportunity to help you. I also have a recipe community on Facebook, so if you are interested in thousands more recipes, hundreds of videos, and a weekly giveaway, just go to theflipflopchef.com. Click the button at the top of the page and you can join the group, and we have so much fun there. So let's go ahead and get started. So I want to know, leave in the comments, let me know how many of you have or have had in the past a George Foreman grill. So leave it in the comments. I want to know if you've ever had one, and I want to know what you hated about it. Nothing against George, but we have solved all of the problems, and we have created the best countertop grill and griddle that you could possibly even imagine. So I'm going to show you some of the features before this grill is hot so that I can handle it and touch all over it without burning myself, and then we're going to make chicken, the panini, steak, and breakfast. So I'm also going to show you a couple things I made ahead of time. Just because of time's sake, I wanted to go ahead and have some things ready for you to see. So let's talk about the grill and griddle. It is such a cool product, and it comes with 2 sets of cooking plates. And so right now I don't have any in here, but it comes with the grill plates, which, let me make sure this is unlocked so I can open it. The grill plates, which I have in this grill. Excuse me. It also comes with flat griddle plates. And so we're going to use the griddle plates in this grill. But first, while I have this over here, I want to show you guys the best way to store your extra plates, because that's a question that I get quite often. We do sell separately waffle plates, so you can make waffles in your Deluxe Grill and Griddle. Those are a separate item that you do have to purchase separately. Let me make sure that's not going to fall over. And they look like this. And so that means that you're going to have 3 sets of plates. You can store one in your grill all the time, but the other 2, you're going to need to have a place to put them if you have both or all 3 sets. So this is just like a lid rack or a cookie sheet rack. You can get these at just about any store, and it's a really easy way for you to just kind of stack and store these. And if you notice, I did save some of the packing material that comes in the box, and the reason I did that is so that for a couple reasons. So they don't get scratched up, but also so that it has kind of a sturdy base to kind of sit on, rather than just those plates flipping around on their own. So I'm going to take the griddle plates, and I'm going to insert them into the grill. Now, when you get your grill and griddle, 1 set of plates is going to be in the grill, which is the grill plates, and then the griddle plates are going to be packaged separately. There's one little thing that you need to do first. When you get this, these are going to come with this little plastic or rubber piece that covers up this part of the plate. You want to remove those. That is part of the packing material, and this just slides right in to the grill. So you're thinking back to that George Foreman that you have. You remember how hard it is to clean? You don't have to worry about that with Pampered Chef's Grill and Griddle, because these plates are removable and they go directly in the dishwasher for easy cleanup. And so to get these out, this is why I wanted this grill to be cool, so I could show you this feature. You just press the button on the side, these pop out, and you can put them right inside of the dishwasher. Or you can hand wash them if you choose. Most of the time, they're not going to get so dirty that you have to put them in the dishwasher. But if you hate washing dishes as much as I do, I put as many things in the dishwasher as I can. So when you're ready to use this, you're gonna set the pre-programmed setting for what you want it to be, and then you're going to close the grill to do your cooking. So what I'm gonna do, this grill is ready. So I wanna preheat this grill. It takes about 5 minutes to preheat. Oh, let me show you one other feature before I get this hot. And we are gonna use this in this position a little bit later on, so I'll probably have to use some towels to make sure I don't burn myself, but we're gonna end with breakfast rather than starting with breakfast. On the side here, which I'm kind of at a weird angle on my countertop, but I am right-handed, so if I was standing in front of this, if it was facing me, I would just pull this button forward, and then this actually can lay completely flat so that you can use both sides of your griddle. You could do one grill plate, one griddle plate, two griddle, two grill. It's totally up to you. When you're using the waffle plates, you do want to use both waffle plate at the same time, and you're going to be able to cook 2 waffles. So let me slide this over just a little bit. The power button is on the back. So it does have a power button. You have to turn it on. Then you're going to see all these pre-programmed settings. I'm going to talk more about this in just a little while, and I'm going to have to move this out of the way in a second. For the panini and our breakfast, I'm going to use the griddle setting, which is 350 degrees. The panini setting is, let's see. The panini setting is 375. So I'm going to go in between and use the griddle setting because I want to make sure that my eggs don't overcook. And so I'm going to just set this aside. Oops, this is also where the drip tray is, which I was going to show you guys in a few minutes. The drip tray is great because if you think about your old George Foreman, all of the grease ran down the front of your grill, and then you had to clean the front of the grill every time. But with this one, the drip tray fits in the bottom and the grease runs through the back, so it's super cool. And I'll tell you more features as we go along, but I want to maximize the time that we have and use as much of the time that we can for cooking, right? So we're going to get our chicken ready. I'm going to slide this out of the way. See if I can carry all of this. Because I won't be cooking with the waffle plates tonight, but I did make waffles ahead of time so that you can see them. But I'm going to start off by showing you what I use the grill for the most, and that is to cook chicken. So when you think about mealtime at your house, what is the most stressful part of the meal? I have to guess it's probably the protein, whether it's steak or chicken or pork or whatever it is that you're cooking. The side dishes usually seem to be less difficult for us to come up with and to produce, but the meat is always the issue, and you want to make sure your meat is defrosted. When you're using the Deluxe grill and griddle, you'll be able to cook things so much faster, but the meat is always what takes the longest, not with the Deluxe grill and griddle, because you can take what usually takes you the longest and it'll be done first. You can start it last and it'll be done first, and it takes no time. So I'm going to show you how to make chicken in under 10 minutes. The first 5 minutes of that is already completed because that's the preheating time on our grill and griddle. So I'm going to see if I can slide this one a little bit closer to me without burning myself. It does have little suctions on the bottom. So I'm going to try to be real careful here so that you can see this. And we're going to get our chicken ready to go. Now, how many of you have a family that is hard to please? So you have one person who likes this flavored chicken, one person who likes this, but then you like something different. I love the grill and griddle because I can make multiple flavors of food at one time, and I don't feel like a short order cook. Now, you keep hearing this beep, so let me turn this off and I'm going to show you what I already did. The beeping is telling me, hey, your grill is hot. It's the temperature that you want it to be. So I started with the grill plates, close the lid. I'm going to turn this to the grill setting, which is a pre-programmed setting at 400 degrees. The default time is 5 minutes. I'm going to change that to 4 because that's all we need for our chicken. Press the button and it's beeping because it's already preheated. So I've got my chicken already trimmed and ready to go. But I like to flatten my chicken just a little bit, and so I'm going to take our meat tenderizer, and if you've never seen this, one side, let's see if I can unscrew this. I rarely use the other side, which is actually the tenderizer side. This just unscrews. Let's see. So one side is the tenderizer and one side is to flatten. So we're going to use the flattened side tonight to flatten these chicken breasts just so that they cook a little bit more evenly. So I went ahead and trimmed off any fat on these chicken breasts. And don't take out all of your frustrations on the chicken because you don't want to break up the chicken breast. You just want to flatten it. So you don't have to do a ton of pounding, just enough to get it all kind of the same thickness, right? So let's do 2 more of these. So at my house, on the nights that everybody wants something different, I just ask, what flavors do you want? And usually we can agree on 3 different flavors. I can fit 3 of these chicken breasts on the grill and griddle at the same time. Make sure you pay attention to where your hands are when you're pounding, because you don't want to accidentally pound your fingers or your thumb. All right, I think that's good. Let me put this in the sink and wash my hands. Well, actually, I'm not going to wash my hands just yet because I'm still going to get a little messy. So I'll keep one hand clean so I can do what I need to with that. We're going to use, that's for our steak, we're going to use Kansas City barbecue rub, lemon garlic rub, these are the 3 favorites at our house, and sweet basil. So I'm going to do a different rub on each piece of meat. Now the key when you're cooking on the grill, whether it's this grill, a grill pan on your stovetop, or your grill outside, most of the time you're not going to oil the grill, you're going to oil the food. Now when you make waffles, that is the exception, because you do want to brush oil in the waffle plates before you put your waffle batter in there. And I will spritz the griddle plates before I put the eggs and the pancakes and the sausage on there, but it's something that you can, most of the time you're gonna oil your food, not the grill, okay? So I have our really cool oil dispenser here. When you press this, you can do this with one hand. Press this, you can measure 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, or 3 teaspoons, which is a tablespoon. I'm gonna just drizzle a little bit of oil on all 3 of these chicken breasts, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Let me move these seasonings. I'm just gonna put the oil on there and flip this over, do a little bit of oil on this side, and my seasoning. I kind of pat the seasoning down. Now this one is heated up too. The next one I'm gonna do lemon garlic, and when I do this for my family, I usually wash my hands in between each piece. But some of these seasonings may cross over to the other one, and that's okay. Hopefully they won't notice, right? And then this one is Kansas City barbecue. And so we're gonna just sprinkle this on. Rubs are actually more concentrated than seasonings, and so you can eliminate that preheating time, or excuse me, eliminate the marinating time when you are using them. All right, so Kansas City barbecue, lemon garlic, and sweet basil. Let me throw these over here and let me wash my hands off real quickly. And we're gonna get the chicken on the grill, and then we're gonna put our panini together. Now I will tell you, I'm gonna be making some extremely basic recipes tonight. Some of the food that you're seeing is kind of prop food, meaning it may not get eaten, and so some of it's just really plain. And also I'm hoping my kids will eat some of what I'm making too. And so I'm making a lot of things just super plain. So I'll explain those as we go along, but if you're wondering, hey, I would have put more on that panini, me too. All right, so this says add, it's preheated to 400 degrees, and it's ready for our chicken. So I'm gonna take some of our chef's tongs here, and I'm gonna put 1 piece, whoops, I almost dropped it, on that side, 1 in the middle, and then 1 on this side. And you wanna make sure that they're not overlapping if you can help it. Put that in there. I'm gonna close the grill, press the button, it's counting down from 4 minutes, okay? So let me clean up my workspace, and then we're gonna put our panini together, and then I'll share a little bit more as we go along. Now, if you guys have questions along the way, please leave them in the comments, and I will answer them after the video is over. And I am hoping that you guys are having a great time so far and learning a lot. I know some of you already have the grill, and some of you are thinking about it. So let me know in the comments, do you have it, or do you want it? So the next thing that we're gonna make is we're gonna make a giant panini. I'm going to be using, this is stone oven baked artisan flatbread, and this is from Aldi, surprise, surprise, because you guys know I love shopping at Aldi. So I'm going to take this out, and it comes with 2 pieces, so it's perfect. You toss this in the garbage. So you see how I have 2 pieces here? So what I'm going to do, before I put it on the grill, I'm going to go ahead and put all of my toppings on here. Now remember how I said I was going to make this kind of basic? So I'm just doing ham and cheese. But if I was going to be the one to eat this, I would probably do mayonnaise or aioli or some kind of other sauce to go on here, and then add the meat, the cheese, and I would probably add some spinach. But I know that I'm not going to eat the majority of this, and so I want to make sure it doesn't go to waste, because I hate wasting food, and I don't have anybody here to help me except for my family. So we're gonna take these, we've got a little plastic on that piece of cheese. And this is kind of cheap cheese. I had this left over from when I was doing some meal prepping. It's not usually the cheese that I buy, but again, whoops, I don't want it to go to waste. So I'm gonna just overlap the cheese a little bit, and we're going to put some ham on top of this. You can use whatever flavor cheese you like. You can shred the cheese if you wanted to do that. I feel like that the slices kind of stay together a little bit better. And I've got some ham, and I do store our lunch meat in our leak-proof storage containers. I love these because they have those locking tabs. Put this on here, overlap just a little bit. I think that was 8 slices of cheese and 6 slices of ham. And I buy the ham at Aldi. It comes kind of shrink wrapped, and it's just a big hunk of ham, and so it's nice thick sliced ham, and it tastes pretty good. Let me put this back in the fridge. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put the top on here. I'm gonna open up my, whoops, what happened here? It's supposed to, oh, I think my button is stuck, hang on. I don't know what's going on there. Well, it says pampered, not perfect, right? It should prop open, but I think something is stuck and I'm at a weird angle. So I'm just going to, I'm actually gonna hover this. This is something that we didn't talk about. Hang on, I wanna burn myself. So I'm gonna prop that up a little bit. You see how you can prop this up? If we were cooking a pizza and we had toppings on the pizza, we could hover this lid just like that, and so that it wouldn't touch the cheese. Now I am gonna lower this so you can adjust the position, and just press down and press start. Now I need to keep an eye on this because this timer for Griddle is a default time of 60 minutes, and I don't want to cook this for 60 minutes. It would burn if I cooked it for 60 minutes. So on that, I'm just going to cook it for 3 to 4 minutes. We have 16 seconds left on our chicken, so I think I timed that pretty good, didn't I? So when the chicken is done, let me grab a couple of my pans over here. We're going to take the chicken and transfer it to one of our sheet pans. Excuse me. All right, so you heard that beep, right? So flip this up, and this one is in the hover position already. Let me close that. Are these not gorgeous pieces of chicken? And they are perfectly cooked. I recommend that when you're done cooking, and this is what we do at our house, I transfer the chicken from the grill and put it directly on this large groove cutting board. I like the large groove cutting board because it has this groove around the edges that's going to catch any of those juices. Let it rest for 2 to 3 minutes before you slice or cut the chicken, because you want all those juices to sort of redistribute and just give you a really juicy piece of chicken. So I'm going to transfer these. Oops, I was going to transfer them here because we're going to use that cutting board for something else. So let's see. Again, I'm at a very weird angle when I cook on camera, and so most of the time, if something looks difficult for me, 9 times out of 10, it's because of the weird angle. Typically, my grill is right over here, and I stand right in front of it, and I don't have any of the challenges that you guys see me having on camera. So check this out. These are our chicken breasts, and they are going to be amazing. So I'm gonna set these aside. Just give us a little bit more room here. All right. Our steaks are what we're going to do next on the grill. Now, because the time has ended, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take some paper towels here, and I'm just going to sort of dry this off a little bit. Normally, I would recommend that you, oops, hang on, let me wet this a little bit. I would recommend that you clean these in between uses, but I want the plates to stay hot for time's sake, so I'm going to get as much of this off of the grill as possible. But there's this really cool feature. I can add 30 seconds. I'm going to add, I just want to keep the grill hot, so I'm adding almost 5 minutes. We're going to use a different setting for our steaks, but like I said, I want the grill to maintain the temperature so we don't have to wait 5 minutes for it to heat up again. All right, the top's always a little bit easier to clean because food was just touching it on the top. Okay, For steak, I recommend that you marinate the steak, but you have to dry, or you should dry it before you put it on the grill. Let me show you a really cool feature of this, by the way. This is our leak-proof container. I had 4 steaks in here actually to start. 2 of them we've already cooked and eaten. The other 2 are in here, and I marinated these in Dale's. It's a liquid seasoning that you can buy at the grocery store in Worcestershire. So that's what he's always done, and it tastes so good. That's what we do. And what I like to do, because these are leak-proof, you can flip it over and shake it a little bit, and you can even flip it over and let it sit in the fridge. Just make sure you have the lid on properly. Let me check on our, ooh, that's looking good. I almost forgot about it, you guys. And I'm gonna set this over here, and then, let's see, I think I'll transfer that panini into this pan. So I'm gonna set this here for a moment, because I want a little bit more. All right, let's see. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I wanna dry these off. So I'm gonna put a couple of paper towels here, and I'm gonna take these steaks. You don't want it to be super wet, because what's gonna happen is what's happening on the grill right now. That is kind of burning on there, and you don't really want that to burn. Let's check on our sandwich. Check that out, isn't that great? Oops, I gotta figure out what happened when I flipped this earlier. Let me just see if I can set that. I don't know if I can. It should lock right there, and it's not locking. So that's one of those pampered, not perfect moments. But look at this. We have this really cool panini, and you can cut that into squares. You can cut it into triangles, whatever you like. I'm also gonna do the very same thing on this grill. I'm gonna wipe up the cheese because I don't want that cheese to burn. And then I'm gonna close this, and it's still has 55 minutes on the griddle setting. And so this is gonna be fine until I move on to our breakfast. So I've got our steaks on a couple paper towels. I'm gonna take a couple more, and I'm gonna pat the marinade dry, okay? Hopefully this isn't too burned by the time we get to it. I'm gonna press cancel on that. Let it just kind of stop a second. I'm gonna wipe some more of that off. Normally, you guys are not gonna be cooking all of these things. Let's see if I can get some more of that off, because it's just burning on, and I don't wanna have too much smoke. Typically, you're not gonna have too much smoke unless you're using something super, super fatty. And so you wanna make sure if you're doing that you put this maybe near your hood vent on your stovetop, or near your stovetop. All right, almost ready, right? Do you guys remember what I told you guys about oiling the food, not the pan? So that's what we're gonna do again. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in here. My steaks are relatively dry, but just a little bit of oil. And then I'm gonna put some of our crushed peppercorn and garlic rub. This is what we like on our steaks. And then we'll flip these over. All right, and this the steaks are this dark color because they've been sitting in that Dale seasoning for so long. So it will change the color of your steaks. So if you're wondering why they're not that pretty pink, that is why. All right, we're gonna use our probe. And so our grill plates are still super hot, even though I pressed cancel. What we're gonna do for this, I'm gonna press probe. I want my grill plates to be 350. So I'm gonna lower the temperature, because when you press probe, the first thing that you're gonna do is set the temperature of your grill plate. So I'm gonna press that. And I don't know if you guys can see, probably not, but it says 140 degrees. This is the probe temp. I'm gonna cook these steaks to 125, which is a little lower than medium rare, because that's how I like my steaks. And once you take these off the grill, they will continue to cook for about five degrees hotter than what you're setting that for. Oh, and I did this wrong. I don't know that it matters, but the directions say to plug the probe in first, so I always plug the probe in first. So we're gonna do that again. Plug the probe in, press probe, 350 and 125. Okay, and when you put the probe in, you wanna make sure it's in the thickest part of the meat, but not in to where the probe is gonna touch, so you don't want it at an angle. You wanna try to get it straight across and keep it in parallel to, like literally parallel to the top and the bottom, and like that. Now I'm gonna put this one, you only need the probe in one because they're relatively the same thickness. So I'm going to put this here, and then I'm going to put this one here. Make sure the probe is not touching the plate. Press the button, and it is going to tell you the temperature of the meat. So it says 52 degrees. You probably cannot see that on there, but that's what the temperature is. All right, clean up my mess a little bit, and let's make our breakfast. So let's see. And while we're making breakfast, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about our cooking guide and the pre-programmed settings, because I know I've covered a lot about the cooking, but not necessarily about the instructions in the guide. And I want you guys to know exactly how to use your grill and griddle. That's why we're doing this class tonight, right? So that you can learn how to use it to the fullest. All right, I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to see what's going on here. I got to figure out what happened on that. But we are going to use this on the flat setting. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook pancakes and pancakes, sausage, and eggs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this flat, and I'm probably going to get super hot now because I feel the heat coming off of this. I've got our pancake batter already mixed up. You can use Pampered Chef pancakes and waffle mix if you like, or any of your store-bought brands are fine too. So I've got that all whisked together. And then I want to make sure I don't forget to tell you guys about the other things that I pre-cooked over here. Now, I didn't say this, but this grill will stop cooking those steaks as soon as the temperature reaches that 125 degrees, which is what I set that to. We're going to make pancakes, eggs, and sausage. So I'm going to put the eggs on last. And I'm going to tell you, I don't eat fried eggs really very much. And so I'm not the best at flipping them, so don't laugh at me if I make a mess. But we're going to fry these eggs tonight. Okay, so I'm using our kitchen spritzer. I'm pumping some pressure in this bottle, and I'm going to spray this just like that. Spray this side too. And let all that air out. I'm going to put our pancakes on this side. So let me just give this one little quick whisk. I already mixed this up beforehand. And I'm going to take our large scoop. And you remember our griddle, it's already counting down. So I'm not pressing add on this one because that timer was set for 60 minutes. And we've already used some of it. We don't need to press the add button. All right, we're going to do our pancakes. Perfect. Now, probably should have put pancakes on there last, but I did it in a weird order. We're going to put some of the sausage on here. So you see how I can cook on both sides at the same time? Some of that. Wash my hands. Anytime you touch raw meat, make sure you're washing your hands so you don't contaminate your food, because you can get sick if you're not careful. All right. Now, for pancakes, you want to watch till they start bubbling, so we're getting close already on that. I'll flip those in a minute. So let's crack our eggs right on the grill and griddle here. I'm just going to do 2. Like I said, a lot of this is prop food, and nobody's going to eat these fried eggs at my house, and so I don't want to waste any more food than I have to. All right, let's flip these. So this is our nylon spatula. Whoops, I think I started here first. Always try to flip. I could have waited a little bit longer. Always try to flip in the same order that you put the batter down, because you want to make sure that you don't turn one that's not ready to turn. So we're getting some more bubbles here. Let's see, there we go. You want to have a real smooth glide, and then you'll know that your pancakes are ready to go. You see how these are like the perfect brown? Flip that over. These will not take long at all to finish cooking. We're at 120 on our steaks. See guys, we're almost done here. We're almost done with everything. So the sausage is probably going to take the longest, especially since I'm going to have to flip them because I'm not cooking this in a flat press position. And the eggs, I'll probably cook them over hard. All right, you hear this one? So we're going back and forth here. So these are our steaks. I want to drip on my waffles here. These are the waffles that I made with the waffle maker. Aren't these great? So you can cut these into triangles, put them on like a breakfast charcuterie board if you want to. So I'll set these aside now that you guys have seen them. And I'm gonna leave the steaks there for a second. I'm gonna press cancel. That's gonna stop that cooking. And I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna take our pancakes off. You see how these are just so easy to get off of the platter. Whoops, that one was going so easy, it's going over there. All right. Now, if I wanted to, I could put more pancake batter on here, but I used all the batter the first time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press this top bottom button, and that's the top. We wanna keep doing that one. Leave that the same. Okay, bottom. I'm gonna lower the temperature on the bottom plate since I'm not gonna keep cooking on there to the lowest setting, and then it won't be as hot and it'll start cooling down a little bit. At this point, you could also, take your paper towel and just dry off any oil if you're not done cooking on the other side. All right, so let's check these eggs. All right, I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna get that piece there. Okay, and I think our sausage, I think I'll leave it on that side just a little bit longer and then we'll try to flip it over. But you can see, you can do your pancakes, you can do your eggs, you can do sausage, you can do bacon at the same time, and any grease that's in here is gonna run off in between here, and that's what's gonna catch in this drip tray. All right, let's go back to our steak, and I may need to grab, let's see. I contaminated those tongs, so I don't want to add that to my food. I'm gonna carefully pull out this probe. Make sure you don't touch anywhere except for at that very end piece because it's gonna be really hot. But check these out. And we're gonna let the grill, always let the grill cool before you take those plates out. But check out, aren't those beautiful steaks? I'm gonna set these aside. Gotta watch the dog. She can get up there on that stove top if she wanted to. Flip our sausage over, get that cooking, and let's see, where do I want to put these eggs? I'll put them on the same platter. I wanted to let these cool off just slightly. So let's take our eggs. And then now we're just waiting on the sausage. So you guys can see pancakes and sausage, and our pancakes and eggs, and then we're gonna finish up our sausage. So while we wait on that, I want to tell you guys a few other things. So let me go over a couple of other things that come with your grill and griddle. So this piece here, let me open up this grill. You see how this props up here? That's what that one's supposed to do, and I'm not sure why it's kind of hung on that spot, but I'll work on it when it's not hot. If you ever have food that's stuck on here, you can just kind of scrape it just like this to get it off. And then when you rinse it off in the sink, put it in the dishwasher, it's super easy to clean. So anything that you scrape off, you can toss into the garbage, or you can just scrape into the drip tray. And the drip tray is also dishwasher safe, and so is the scraper. The probe is not dishwasher safe, so you just want to wash the probe piece with the sponge and soapy water. Just rinse it off and dry it so that you're not submerging the plug piece in water. Now, it comes with this really cool cooking guide, and this is what I want to kind of talk to you guys about so that you understand a little bit more about how to use your grill. It has everything that you need to know. So a lot of what I've told you tonight is in, I got sticky hands, is in the cooking guide, and a lot of what I shared tonight isn't, but a lot of the basic stuff is in the guide. And so I hope that you guys will enjoy cooking in this, and just because I know I'm going to forget to show you this, out of sight, out of mind, let me go ahead and show you a couple of other things I pre-made using the grill plates. I did a panini. It's basically a grilled cheese and cheese quesadilla. And so, again, I made things that I wanted my family to eat so that I wasn't wasting food. But in your cooking guide, the very first page, it tells you get to know your grill and griddle. I highly recommend that you read this. I know people just want to get things out of the box and just start using them. But Pampered Chef's appliances are smart appliances, and so they may not work like traditional appliances that you've cooked with before, and so you may need to know different things, some of which I've shared with you tonight. But it tells you where everything goes and what the plates can be used for. The next page, it goes over the settings. So I'm just gonna read this to you because it's easier and faster for me to do that. This wheel in the middle, this is how you drive your grill. This is your start button, your select button. There is a temperature button on your grill, which we didn't really use today, but if you're using the custom setting, you can, after you select your cooking preset, you can press this and change the temperature on one of those pre-programmed settings. The top bottom button, which I did use, is so you can adjust the temperature of the top and the bottom so that they're not the same. So right now the bottom temperature is at the lowest and the top is still at 350. That's also important when you're making grilled pizzas and you want to have that grill in that hover position where you prop that lid up and you hover over the cheese. So the crust doesn't burn, but the cheese melts on the top. The probe setting, we talked about that. I showed you guys how to use that. And then one of the things that I haven't talked about is this add 30-second button. Maybe I said that actually when we were transitioning from the chicken to the steak. But at any time, you can just press add 30 seconds and it's gonna add time to your timer. So what I did do that earlier. If you wanted to do like a second batch of chicken and the grill's already set, just press the add 30 seconds to get the time that you want for your next batch of chicken, and the grill plates will maintain the same temperature. There's a cancel button. That's the button to tell it to cancel, to stop, to turn off. And then the time, of course, is to set your time, the cooking time. The pre-programmed settings we have are custom, and so that's how you set it however way you want. Just like if you were using a regular tabletop grill and griddle, that's how you would use it. The sear setting is great for steaks, fish, and vegetables. The default time is 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and the default temperature is 450 degrees. Panini is great for grilled sandwiches, paninis, burritos, or hot subs. So we did the panini tonight on that. The grill setting is great for burgers, chicken, vegetables, pizza, chops, sandwiches, and stir fry. The griddle setting is great for French toast, eggs, pancakes, sausage, bacon, and hot dogs. And we're using the griddle setting right now. Keep warm setting. Now this is super cool. Let's say that I wasn't ready to take this panini off of the grill to cook something else, and I just wanted to keep it warm so that it maintains the right temperature. Maybe I'm making side dishes or something to go with it. There is a keep warm button, which I love, because if I push the keep warm button, it's gonna lower the cooking plates to, I think, 240 degrees, maybe a little bit lower. Let's see if I can get it to do it on this one, and we'll see. 140, so see, I was wrong. So 140 degrees, and it will keep it warm, but it won't continue to cook it. Now our sausage here is getting almost done. I'm gonna flip them over a little bit because I've left them on that side longer, but I still see a little bit of pink, so we wanna make sure we cook those all the way through. So the keep warm setting will keep food hot for 30 minutes is the default time. You can add or reduce that. You have 3 cooking positions. The closed position, which we talked about, the top melting position is where you hover, and then the flat position is what we're doing right here. We already talked about the probe settings, and that's the next part of page 5. So the first 5 pages are where you really want to focus your attention, and the rest is recipes. So this is all in one day, all in one breakfast, quick non-pizzas, and your perfect cheeseburger. There is a guide on how to cook proteins, how to cook sandwiches, and buttermilk pancakes and waffles, brioche French toast, chicken sausage and veggie scramble, mushroom and ricotta sandwiches, spinach and artichoke pizza. This is really good. I have a video on my YouTube channel showing you how to make this from start to finish. Greek zucchini fritters, French onion sliders. This is the first recipe I made on the grill and griddle when I got it. It's so easy and it's delicious. If you like those sweet Hawaiian rolls and roast beef, you will love that. Barbecue chicken and cornbread waffles. So you would need the waffle plates, which is sold separately in order to make this, but they're basically barbecue sandwiches on cornbread waffles. Super delicious. And then grilled steaks and asparagus with rosemary and garlic butter. And I missed one very popular page, hibachi shrimp and veggies with yum yum sauce. So if you like going to your hibachi restaurant in your neighborhood and letting them cook for you in front of you, you can do it for a fraction of the cost right here on the Deluxe Grill and Griddle, and it comes with the yum yum sauce recipe. This is also a free downloadable cookbook. You can find it in my recipe community. So I mentioned this at the beginning. You can go to the flipflopchef.com, click the button at the top of the page to join my recipe community, and there's a files section in that group, and there's over 40 free cookbooks, and this is one of them. So if you want to check out the recipes before you shop, or maybe you're at the grocery store, you already have the grill and griddle, and you're like, hey, I want to make that recipe, pull it up on your phone, and you'll be able to find it. Don't you hate when you don't have a recipe with you? So I try to make it easy for you guys to find the recipes that you want. So I think we've covered everything. My sausage is almost finished. I can finish that off camera. I'm looking around because There's nothing I hate more than turning off the camera and realizing that I forgot to tell you something or forgot to show you something. And so I think I have showed you all the food that I pre-cooked and the food that I made along the way. So I hope that this has been a helpful class for you, and don't forget that I have so many more videos. Actually, I have a whole playlist on my YouTube channel for this product. I think all of Pampered Chef's appliances are great, but I feel like this one has kind of not been as popular. I don't want to say as popular. People don't realize how amazing it is until they get it, and then they're like, oh wow, this thing is so awesome. Like I said, nothing against George, but this is like the George Foreman grill on steroids, and it is something that everybody is going to use and use often. So let me check on this so I don't burn them. But I make grilled chicken in mine more than I do anything else, but I also really love grilling like Greek pita and naan bread for flatbread wraps and sandwiches and different things, and you can also use those to like dip in cold or hot dips. So just a few extra little bonus tidbits for you. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this class tonight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. That's what I'm here for. And I look forward to sharing more great recipes with you. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and click the notification, the little bell notification, so that you know anytime I add new content. And also go to theflipflopchef.com and join our recipe community. We have so much fun there, and I give away a prize every single Friday. So if you're not in the group, you're totally missing out, and we would love for you to join us. So until next time, I'll see you guys. Take care.